You've been doubting yourself for too long. You've been walking through life half awake, waiting for permission, waiting for the right time, waiting for a sign that never comes. But here's the truth: the world doesn't give permission. You have to take it. You have to look at your fears, your insecurities, your scars, and decide that they no longer define you. The people who make it aren't the ones who never fail. They're the ones who refuse to stay down when they do. The difference between those who dream and those who achieve is belief. The quiet, unshakable belief that says, I will figure it out. You've been told you're not enough. Maybe they laughed when you said what you wanted. Maybe they rolled their eyes when you shared your vision. But remember this: they only see your present. They can't see your potential. They judge your now, not your future. Don't ever let someone else's doubt become your truth. When life breaks you, when plans fall apart, when doors slam in your face, it's easy to think you're done. But that's not the end. It's the test. That moment when everything feels impossible, that's when you decide who you really are. Do you fold? Or do you fight? You have to believe before anyone else does. You have to believe when there's no evidence, no proof, no applause. You have to believe when your friends don't support you. When you've failed 10 times already, when the voice in your head says, what if it doesn't work? You silence it with, but what if it does? Every person who changed the world started as someone who refused to give up on themselves. They didn't wait for the perfect moment. They created it. They didn't need a guarantee. They took a chance. You are capable of more than you've ever imagined. But your potential means nothing without belief. You can train your mind to see possibility instead of limitation. Every no becomes redirection. Every failure becomes feedback. Every setback becomes a setup for the comeback. Because once you start believing, everything changes. Your energy changes, your decisions change, your habits change. When you start believing in yourself, you stop asking, can I? And start saying, I will. You stop waiting for the right mood, the right support, the right time. You start moving because you finally understand that the only thing standing between you and everything you want is belief. And yes, belief is uncomfortable. It's lonely. It's that feeling in your chest when no one claps, no one watches, and no one believes, but you still show up. You still give your all. That's what separates those who make it from those who fade away. Every mountain starts with one step. Every success begins with one decision. And that decision is to believe. Even if it hurts. Even if it's slow. Even if it seems impossible. Because the truth is, nothing is impossible when you refuse to quit. They say faith without work is dead, and they're right. Believing in yourself isn't about repeating empty words in the mirror. It's about backing those words with relentless action. It's about waking up every single day and proving to yourself that your dreams are worth fighting for. You can't just say you believe, you have to live it. You have to feel it in the way you walk, in the way you talk, in the way you keep pushing even when you're exhausted. Because the truth is, belief is the spark, but discipline is the fire. Every morning you wake up is another chance to prove you mean it. To prove that your faith isn't fragile. To prove that you can keep showing up even when no one notices. When the world turns its back, belief whispers, go again. That's what separates the talkers from the doers. The ones who say someday from the ones who say today. You can't keep waiting for motivation. Motivation fades. Belief and discipline are what remain when everything else disappears. Think about the people who've achieved greatness. They didn't always have the resources, the support, or the certainty. What they had was a burning belief that they could make something out of nothing. They used their pain as a weapon. They turned their scars into strength. You have to become that person. The one who takes no excuse, who turns fear into fuel, who looks at the mirror and says, I've got this. Not because it's easy, but because it's necessary. It won't be perfect. You'll mess up. You'll fail. You'll doubt. But failure is not the opposite of belief. It's the proof that you're trying. Every stumble, every rejection, every lonely night builds your foundation stronger. If you're tired, keep going. If you're scared, keep going. If they laugh, keep going. You don't owe them results. You owe yourself effort. Because one day the results will speak for you louder than any words ever could. And when it gets dark, when it feels like no progress is happening, remember, growth doesn't always make noise. Seeds grow underground long before they break the surface. Your belief is that seed. Keep watering it. Keep protecting it. Keep feeding it with effort. Consistency and faith. This is how ordinary people become unstoppable. They stop waiting to feel ready and start acting anyway. They stop seeking validation and start building value. You can't control how others see you, but you can control how much you push yourself. You can control how much time you give your dreams. You can control how hard you fight for your future. And when your body says stop, when your mind says, it's too much, that's the moment you must push harder. That's the gap between who you are and who you're meant to be. Because everything you want, freedom, peace, success, confidence, lies on the other side of effort. If you give your best today, even if it's not perfect, even if it's messy, you're still winning, because every action you take while believing in yourself compounds. It grows silently, invisibly, until one day everyone sees what you saw all along. There's no shortcut. There's no secret formula. There's only this belief, action, repeat. Do it when you don't feel like it. Do it when you're tired. Do it when no one believes. Because that's how you build a life no one thought possible. Keep your eyes forward. Keep your heart strong. Keep moving. Because one day, you'll look back and realize every small step mattered. Every sleepless night counted. Every failure prepared you. And every ounce of belief brought you here to a life that once felt impossible. And when you finally stand there, when it's real, you'll whisper the same words that carried you through the dark. I believed in myself when no one else did. There comes a moment, one quiet, unremarkable moment, when everything changes. It's not the crowd cheering. It's not the world noticing. It's when you look in the mirror and realize you've become the person you were chasing. Not because the road got easier, but because you got stronger. You stopped waiting for permission. You stopped begging for support. You learned how to carry your own hope when no one handed it to you. That's what belief does. It builds warriors out of the broken, legends out of the lost. Think back to the times when you almost quit. When you told yourself it wasn't worth it. When the pain felt heavier than your purpose. Those moments were your training. They were sculpting the version of you that stands here now. Unshakable, unstoppable, unbreakable. Most people give up right before it happens. They stop believing right before the breakthrough. But not you. You're still here. You're still fighting. That means something. It means the story isn't over. It's just beginning. Because success isn't a lightning strike. It's the slow burn of consistency. The quiet grind no one claps for. The tiny daily wins that build into a lifetime of progress. And the truth. The world doesn't owe you anything. But your belief in yourself that owes you everything. It's your responsibility to nurture it, protect it, and let it grow so big it drowns out the noise of doubt. Every voice that said, you can't, prove them wrong by showing up. Every setback that tried to break you. Use it as a weapon. Every sleepless night, let it remind you how bad you want this. Because when you believe in yourself, you stop being limited by circumstances. You stop asking, what if it doesn't work? And start asking, what if it does? And when that shift happens, everything changes. You start walking differently, not arrogant, but certain. You start speaking differently, not desperate, but powerful. You start thinking differently, not in fear, but in faith. Every successful person you admire once stood where you are now, uncertain, insecure, afraid. But they kept going. They fell. They failed. They doubted, but they never stopped believing. That's the only difference. Belief doesn't guarantee success, but it guarantees progress. And progress is everything. Progress is momentum. Momentum is power. And power changes lives. You have it in you right now. The strength, the fire, the reason you started, that voice inside that keeps whispering, don't quit yet. That's your potential calling your name. So stop waiting for someone to save you. You are the hero. You are the answer. You are the one you've been waiting for. And when the world doubts you again, because it will stand taller, smile quietly. Let your results do the talking. Let your consistency do the explaining. Let your transformation do the proving. Because one day, the same people who doubted you will say they always knew you'd make it. That's how it goes. The disbelief comes first, the applause later. Don't chase their applause. Chase your growth. Belief is not about arrogance, it's about ownership. Owning your effort, your story, your comeback. You may not control the outcome, but you control your input. You control your attitude. You control whether you get up or stay down. And if you can keep getting up, no failure can stop you. If you can keep believing, no fear can define you. If you can keep showing up, no dream is too big for you. You look back one day, not from regret, but from gratitude. You'll thank your past self for not giving up, for believing even when it didn't make sense, for pushing through pain to reach the promise. You'll smile knowing that everything you ever wanted was never impossible. It was just waiting for you to believe enough to try. So from this moment forward, stop saying maybe. Stop saying someday. Say I will. Say I can. Say I am. Because the difference between who you are and who you can be is made in that moment. The moment you decide to believe in yourself completely. And when you do, when you finally trust your own power, that's when the world opens up. That's when the impossible bends. That's when everything you dreamed of becomes real. Because belief moves mountains. Belief rebuilds lives. Belief changes everything. So take a deep breath. Look around. And whisper it again. I will believe in myself. Everything is possible. Now go prove it.